Motherland by Matt Gurr. It's 11 o'clock at night and I am struggling to order my next beer. The barman speaks English, of course, and I could have just... but I prefer to, hack my way through. I enjoy that my teeth and tongue struggle to find their way around the foreign shape of the words. I came here to be an outsider after all, so I purposefully lose myself on the walk back. I turn left even though I know I should go right, and then stumble dizzy down unknown roads. And when my feet start to throb, I find myself on Google Maps and I follow the blue line back to my Airbnb. You used to hate getting lost. The next day my skull buzzes with the night before's alcohol, and I come to the only theatre in town. It's pantomime season and Snow White is on, your favourite. Except she's called Schnovit. And I sit in a crowd of mums and dads and children who yell things I cannot understand to characters that I don't recognise. My head spins and it's glorious. At the interval, I go and buy some sweets. My fumbling begins again. British? I'm interrupted. British, yeah? London, she smiles. I tense. Never been, I say, and it's true, you never took me. Where's home then? She asks as she scans my M&Ms, and the word hits me like a punch in the gut. Home! Suddenly I don't want to be there anymore, and I leave. The next day I take a bus to the southern shores where islands fall away from the mainland like a snake shedding its skin. And I find one where rich families have their summer houses. Front yards, yellow and overgrown, and their windows shuttered like abandoned movie sets. I make my way down to the beach, down the stone steps that wind past a seafood restaurant closed for the season. My legs sink into the wet sand and peel back my scarf and let the raw wind whip my chin and throat. I read in a fly magazine on the way here that this is where Vikings used to set off to invade our lands. Conjure visions of thick-set warriors, blonde and terrifying, hauling long-set boats through salt spray to make their way to home. A home. And the gut punch comes again, and this time I let myself feel it. And my eyes close, and when they reopen, my size 10s have gone, and instead I see my 7-year-old feet standing on tiled changing room floors, my stubby toes anxiously tracing the grout. It's my first ever swimming lesson, and you're having to coax me to come out my cubicle. You love it when you get in, you say, but what if I don't? You will. And with the dumb trust that only a child could have in his parent, my tiny body leaps into the water, not knowing how to keep itself afloat. On the way back, we got bad sausage and chips, our Thursday tradition. The car fills with vinegar stink and I feel the grease soaking into my lap. You turn the radio up for a song you like as my eyes dance, trying to keep up with the landscape flicking across the passenger seat windows. I knew that land like I knew you. I could trace the outline of the hills as I could your sing-song mouth. I knew the sound of the trees wind tickles leaves as I knew your voice. Each strand of your hair was as familiar to me as the dust roads that led us back to the house you raised us in. But land can't love you back, I've learned. Hills, trees, roads, they can't. When you left, Mum, you took my home with you. When you left, I no longer recognised the sky that hung above our little house, or the patchwork gold and green fields that lay around it, or the calm waters where you taught me to swim. Without you, they became memorials, empty spots where something alive used to be. The day after we buried you, Ryanair's cheapest flights brought me here, to another town in another country where I feel as much of a foreigner as I did in that empty house you left behind. I snapped myself back to the frosty beach where my trainers stain with salt stand, and I draw my coat around me and climb back past the seafood restaurant and the dying front gardens and the boarded ghost houses that burst back into life when summer arrives. Evening comes and I am in the same bar as the night before. The barman recognises me and smiles as he approaches me. He doesn't stop me. He lets me stumble through this broken language, and he begins to pour the drink before I've even finished. Oi! And as my tongue kicks the final foreign syllable, my lip curls up into a smile. I'm home.